Just like that.
You almost missed it.
First, thank you all for being here. I'm looking up at the screen as well. Appreciate you coming down. I was the mayor of Denver, which is as close to a cousin of Calgary, I think, as we probably can get, and have had several trips to Alberta and actually all across Canada. I'm probably the loudest supporter you'll get from what should be the brotherhood and sisterhood of Canadians and Americans. One of my best experiences growing up was taking the cross-Canada train with two puppies that were in baggage. So we'd have to get off at each stop and walk the puppies through all these beautiful little towns across western Montana. It was an experience of a lifetime. Let me ask you each a question to start. Ultimately, if the world is going to meet its climate targets, we have to figure out how to decouple the cost of producing energy from the cost of emitting. I know you all talked about this a little bit. Canada is, as you've demonstrated, one of the most ambitious nations on carbon pricing. Your price to set, if I remember right, was at get to $170 by 2030, which is very aggressive and starting, I think it's $150 now. Can you explain for us that pricing of carbon, how that enables your goals for both energy production and reducing emissions? You follow what I'm asking?
Yes, Senator, I think that's probably better directed to Minister Wilkinson in Ottawa, as that's federal policy.
Sure, I'm happy to talk about that. Putting a price on carbon pollution, and let's be clear, carbon is pollution. It is the cause of climate change, is an important part of actually ensuring that that is taken into account in the context of everything that businesses and individuals do in terms of choices. It drives choices that are lower carbon, and it incents innovation on a go-forward basis. It is one part of a much broader climate plan. I would tell you that Canada has perhaps the most detailed climate plan that exists anywhere on the planet in terms of how we will actually go about achieving our targets. But an important part of that is pricing of carbon pollution, and I will tell you 99.5 economists out of 100 will tell you it's the most efficient and effective way to do it.
Great, thank you. Mr. Bradley, let me ask, China's building I'd say almost an energy empire built on cheap renewable resources enabled by their build out of interregional transmission, building a really massive grid. Since 2014, they've added 260 gigawatts of interregional transmission capacity, while we in the United States have added 3 gigawatts. Can you speak to how better integrating our grids via transmission could enable the U.S. and Canada to leverage our complementary resource strengths to compete with China's clean energy growth strategy? And I heard the earlier discussions about the cross-border transmission, which I think is very, very important. But just within that sense of, you look at China's coal consumption, it's been flat since 2010. They've built more plants, but they're just not using it. They're continuing to do more wind, more solar, and part of it's just this grid.
Yeah, thank you for the question, Senator. But yeah, our trajectory has been very different in Canada than in China. We're not building coal; we're phasing coal out. But yes, the transmission plays an absolutely critical role to be able to enable more intermittent sources of electricity, both within Canada, within the United States, and cross-border. And it is going to be a critical component for us to be able to further expand that non-emitting power. We are going to need more transmission if we're going to bring more intermittent power online.
Great, thank you. Ms. Camden, the hydrogen production goals, again, ambitious, admirable. I think something we in the United States are equally enthusiastic about. Most of Canada's hydrogen is currently produced via steam methane reforming without the accessory carbon capture. One of the main challenges we face here is that makes clean hydrogen much more expensive to produce, at least for now. How do you plan to ensure that as you scale up hydrogen production, that it moves towards clean hydrogen in an affordable manner?
Thank you for your question, Senator. Hydropower enables green hydrogen, and we're working right now in Quebec on a strategy for hydrogen. Unfortunately, it will be released in a few weeks, so I cannot talk about it, and it's not even in my portfolio. So we'll make sure that you get the answer from our Quebec's office in DC.
Great. All right, thank you. I'll restrain myself on the questions on cobalt and lithium. Put them in writing to you so that we can get the answers in the future. I yield back my time, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.